She's a black hole. King Charles didn't have enough money to support Meghan financially. Greetings and a gracious welcome to the World of Royal Staffs channel. Prince Harry has revealed his father King Charles told him he didn't have enough money to financially support his wife Meghan Markle. The bombshell claim was made in his explosive memoir Spare, in which he makes a series of allegations against the royal family. According to the Duke, Charles said he was already having to pay a lot for him, his older brother Prince William and his wife Kate Middleton. "Pa didn't financially support Willie and me and our families out of any largesse. That was his job. That was the whole deal," Harry wrote. The 38-year-old said he and William agreed to serve the monarch and stay inside the gilded cage at all times in order to receive monetary support. The California-based prince said he soon realized his father wasn't concerned about money and suggested he was jealous of Meghan's growing popularity. "Pa might have dreaded the rising cost of maintaining us, but what he really couldn't stomach was someone new dominating the monarchy, grabbing the limelight, someone shiny and new coming in and overshadowing him," he writes. He said the king had faced a similar situation with his former wife, Harry's late mother, Princess Diana, and did not want to go through it again with Meghan. He'd lived through that before and had no interest in living through it again, Harry said in the book. The extract in the memoir follows a series of allegations towards Charles and other members of the royal family. In another part of the book, Harry claimed growing up he felt like a literal spare part to his older brother in case he ever needed new organs, reiterating that Willie was the heir, whereas I was the spare. "I was the shadow, the support, the plan B. I was brought into the world in case something happened to Willie," he wrote. Harry said his father could never be on a plane with William, because there must be no chance of the first and second in line to the throne being wiped out. "But no one gave a damn whom I traveled with. The spare could always be spared," Harry writes. "This was all made explicitly clear to me from the start of life's journey and regularly reinforced thereafter." Harry took another swipe at the king by explaining how his father greeted him when he was born, a story that was told to him when he was 20 years old. Charles allegedly said at Harry's birth, "Wonderful. Now you've given me an heir and a spare, my work is done," the Duke of Sussex claims. A joke. Presumably, he added, "I'm no expert on royal finances. I understand the Duchy of Cornwall now belongs to William as heir. I'm not quite clear on the use of funds from the Duchy of Lancaster. I wonder if Meghan had been a better fit with the family, if there would have been funds to support HM. I understand primogeniture, but I am curious as to where funding came from for Anne, Andrew, Edward, Sophie. Surely the Queen provided for them, setting precedent that the monarch provided for all her children, not just the heir. I guess I am wondering if the inability to support Meghan is an excuse due to her vile behavior and extravagance. If she behaved, would money have been found for them? Is this the reason for the animosity? WC get everything, they get nothing? Human nature is human nature. That kind of messaging would surely cause ill feelings. Don't get me wrong, she kept the US PR machine intact, which in itself shows her intentions to keep earning her own money, perhaps as an exit safety net in case of emergency. I just have a hard time believing Charles would cut them off without cause. She never wears anything twice, except that stupid bracelet, and she buys expensive clothing. That gets to be too much after a while. Now, there's more of the picture coming together. Megs wanted her in-laws to pay for everything, and these jobs are actually necessary, which I've suspected all along, but this helps confirm it. I think her spending is disordered at this point. She buys stuff she thinks will make her happy, but it doesn't. She's a black hole. She can't help herself at this point. To be fair, did wear a few things more than once. Most, if not all, were coats. Which you would normally wear more than once. She wore some of her old blazers during the last months of pregnancy to make her bump stand out more. They were ill-fitted and way too small for her at that point because of her bump. But other than that, I don't remember her wearing other articles of clothing more than once. Also, all of the different jewelry she constantly wore. Must be spent a lot of money on it all. Rings on every finger, tacky. A variety of earrings, necklaces, bracelets to be merged to the public. The only thing missing was a nose stud, like the one her mother wears. Maybe that will come later. Did y'all notice that Prince George wore one suit for all of 2022? I give Kate big props for that. About 20 times he wore it, even to 2 World Cup soccer, football games and Wimbledon. And best of all, the Palace ID bet offered to send over tailors to have a new black suit made for him for QE's funeral, but still wore his nice blue suit. The Duchess spent like $500,000 on clothes in 1 year. Most people could tighten their belts and live for decades on that amount, at least in cheaper areas. And she spent that on clothes in a single year. 5 times what the now Princess of Wales spent. More than any other royal spent. IIRC, the Duchy of Cornwall was pulling in about $20 million a year at that time. That amount had to cover all the royal expenses of Charles and Camilla, Will's family and Harry's family, plus pay for their staff, their charitable giving, taxes, etc. There wasn't a huge amount of slack in that budget before Meg's came along, and she started spending like crazy. It's not crazy to think that an actual adult had sat down and done the budget and realized that Meghan's spending wasn't sustainable. They literally could not afford to pay for the lifestyle she decided she deserved. And given everything else we've heard about how she acted and treated the family and staff, do we think she would have listened to anybody less than Charles saying she had to spend less? Do we think she even listened to Charles? It was $1 million. A paper showed she spent as much as all European royal women in 1 year. If they wanted her around, they would have found a way. King Charles was also likely making a point about her ridiculous spending. Harry can't afford her either. I think it was more keep within your budget. I can't afford your private airplane and designer clothes habits. Also, who do you think was paying for, without knowing it, Madame's US team? She never got rid of them and now we know she never stopped using SS. Leaking and planting anyone? Sunshine Sachs does not pay for itself. Still, I can't believe they bought the ridiculous Olive Garden when they must not have been able to afford it even after NF Spotify, Oprah, Apple spare her $5 dowry, which is a joke, and his inheritances. The fact that he was harassing his grandmother and father for money the entire time is just disgusting. This was about whatever budget she must have demanded. It wasn't that Charles couldn't support a reasonable increase in Harry's budget. I imagine she demanded a massive couture wardrobe immediately. I also think she demanded a guaranteed budget every year. When the expectation was that Harry would continue to support his entire family on the budget he already had. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and thought-provoking. If you want to continue the conversation or share your thoughts, please leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more insightful content. See you in the next video.